I'm interviewing Grace Cheung, and she's a physiotherapist and a guitar player. So my first question is, what sorts of injuries or pain are most common for guitar players?
For guitar players, most of the times I will see them come in with a lot of overuse injuries, oftentimes in their arm upper extremities. So a lot of overuse and tendonitis problems that occur, and a lot of times their wrist flexors or just their forearm muscles in general. So you've got your repetitive strain injury, your tendonitis, tendinopathy. Those are all, they have the same roots in that they come from overtraining, new instrumentation or new equipment setup. So the muscles are working extra hard. And another thing that I often see is just postural problems that also cause repetitive strain injuries. So postural problems in the neck and the shoulder, all the way down into how they're holding their wrists and their fingers. So oftentimes in the neck, you'll see people either a lot of head banging, bobbing their head, or even holding the guitar. There's a lot of what we call protraction of the shoulder, which is when the shoulder leans forward, and so that throws all the alignment off in the trunk, and then subsequently everything down below. So those are some of the more common injuries that I see.
For something like tendonitis, what would that feel like? What are the symptoms will come in?
So tendonitis is when you have inflammation of tendons. So a lot of times people will have pain with use, or they'll play for 15 minutes and eventually they have to stop because their muscles are tired or painful. They may even be so severe that they have pain even when they're not playing, so when they're resting. And other times you'll feel that the muscles are warm or really tight, or just hard to touch as well compared to the other side.
And what kind of treatment do you use for these types of injuries?
For these types of injuries, lots of education, because we want to see what's causing it. Usually there's some sort of technique or something that they're doing wrong that can be corrected. So we want to alleviate and eliminate the pain. So there's a lot of education and talking about and demonstration of how their technique can be improved upon. And then in terms of physio treatment, there's a lot of, besides that, we do lots of education on appropriate stretches, practicing techniques, postural education, and then we get into some of the more hands-on therapies like manual therapy and mobilizations as well. And sometimes we get into some of the more technology type aspects. So we'll use ultrasound, sometimes we'll use laser therapy or various other electrotherapies to help settle down some of the pain. Yeah.
What are some good preventative measures to avoid having these types of injuries?
So preventative measures, I mentioned this earlier, but one of the things is posture. So addressing your posture, if you tend to be quite slouchy in the head and the shoulders here, then you may want to correct that, because you'll have other issues in the neck, shoulder, arm, hands. So we look at the posture, we look at your technique and how you're holding your guitar, how your wrists are positioned, even how you're gripping your pick. If you're death gripping it, then you're probably going to want to slightly loosen up in some of the other muscles that don't need to be used. And other preventative measures would include just taking breaks. So treat your body like as if you were an athlete or a dancer. You want to warm up and cool down before playing. You want to take breaks in between so that you're not overusing your muscles. And think of it also as if you were to sit in front of a computer for 8 hours a day without moving, your muscles and your body is going to hurt. So you need to change positions as well. So those are some things that you could be doing. So you look at your posture, you look at your technique, and you look at how you're practicing. And then in between, in those breaks, you want to be incorporating some stretches and appropriate exercises too.